Hello, hello. Hi, this is Megan. So yesterday I put out a little teaser about handmade sketchbooks, and this is the one I made yesterday. But when I take my groups on workshops, we always make a handmade sketchbook. We start out with some quality watercolor paper. So I am going to walk through the steps of how to fold the sketchbook, right? So what you do is you start out with a large piece of watercolor paper. This is Fabriano 50, 70 by 50, which is like 30 by 20, más o menos, right? You can get here in San Miguel, you can get that at Patos, and you can get it at your finer art stores, right? See, here in Mexico, we kind of have to make our sketchbook, so it's an exciting thing to venture into. So when you get this piece of paper, the first thing you do is you put color, you add design to it, right? And then we fold it into a beautiful sketchbook that you can carry with you, travel with you. I'm getting ready to go to San Francisco. This is the one I did for Mexico City, right? So I did this yesterday, but the filming didn't go right properly. So I'm going to be bringing this one to California. But so what I'm going to do right now is show you how to fold it, because that can be the tricky part. So what I just did is I put color on both sides of my Fabriano watercolor paper. And how did I do this, you ask? Well, I never do it the same way twice, right? And so with this one, what I did is I started out with some masking fluid and just kind of went loop-de-loop-de-loop with it. I also put on some some tape, some blocks of tape, right? And then I got my saturated watercolor inks. These are mi favorito, and they're solo disponible aquí in Mexico. These are beautiful Italian saturated watercolor inks, super high quality. And for whatever reason, they're not available in the United States, but they're available here in Mexico at a very handsome price at about $3 per bottle. So I have a whole, I have the entire set. There's like 60 colors, right? So I have a whole set of that. I also use acrylic metallic paint because it's super fun, right? Now, these are the things that I use. The sky's the limit. If you have stencils, you can use your watercolor. I do some finger painting. I do all kinds of things, but one of the, of course, I don't have it. One of the things I'm really getting into is using a large brush. So a lot of this is made with a large brush, right? So I take the time to do both sides, and I like to do them a little bit different, right? The key thing to remember with this, I think, right? Because the point is to have a travel sketchbook. And sometimes using these saturated inks, it can be very easy to just go super heavy and super saturated, right? And then all of a sudden it's so dark you can't draw over it. I mean, it's not impossible, but the thing that as I make more and more of these, the thing I try to do is to keep white, save the white. And the masking fluid helps with that. The masking tape helps with that. And just try not to, you see, I did some finger painting, right? So I just try to be kind of not cover the whole dang thing, right? Okay, so now I'm going to fold this. This is in preparation for my chat with Val Roy, which is happening next week. She's a sketchbook artist, maker extraordinaire. And so I want everyone to make their sketchbook before, because we're not making them with Val. She's talking about her sort of advanced process with it, right? So here's my sheet of Fabriano that I have painted on both sides, but not too heavy. And so the first thing I do is I fold it in half. Now this is good quality watercolor paper, and they're bookbinding tools out there. And one of these days I'll remember to buy some. But in the meantime, I use a spoon. And I use a spoon to kind of work on the crease. I have found that with these books, like as I'm using them, I continue to crease them, right? So that's why I should get those like bone tools where it can make like, I can flatten the spine, right? But I don't have that right now. And so for today, I'm going to use my spoon. You can use a wooden spoon, whatever you like, right? Maybe I have some bookbinding tools, right? So first thing is to fold it in half that way. And now we fold it in half this way. You know, this is something you could be super precise about. And they're, you know, it's bookbinding, right? And generally speaking, bookbinding is a precise art. I would say, generally speaking, I'm kind of loosey-goosey about this. I kind of like the handmade imperfections, right? I mean, I could be super, I'm just rolling off some masking fluid here. I could be super precise in how I fold and crease and all that, but you know, like I said, I kind of like the imperfection of a little wonky. My drawings are wonky and my sketchbooks are wonky, and I kind of like it. So here we go. I think the most time-consuming thing here is the creasing. I'm even working up the sweat. It's very, very hot here in San Miguel. So, okay, now I've folded it. I'm going to fold it this way just to kind of work in the crease. Because I'm going to keep creasing this over. I mean, for weeks, I'm going to continue to crease, right? Okay, so now I've got it that way and this way. Now what I'm going to do is fold this into here, right? I'm going to try to be a little more precise about this. Yeah. I had to turn off my fan because it was a little loud, and now I'm like, I feel like the heat wave is subsiding a little bit here in San Miguel, but not terribly. You know what? I also realized that I'm broadcasting this live stream in my personal page because I could not get my continuous line storytelling page to be recognized by Zoom. I'm going to use it all the time. So anyways, here we go. So folding it like that. Now I'm going to do this side. Let me undo that one. All right. I'm going to fold it this way. Righty. You know what I'm super excited about? I'm super excited about, you know, like, well, the year ahead, my travel plans ahead, but also the experimentation that I plan on doing with like making sketchbooks and travel sketching and urban sketching. I curl up my nose on that because I love urban sketching. I am an urban sketcher. I will probably be an urban sketcher for the rest of my days. But it's just a little rigid, right? So anyways, I like the idea of like weaving in some creative projects in with my urban sketching, right? Because like that's what I do with these. I make these sketchbooks and then I'm out urban sketching. And it's already, you know, if you have white page anxiety, here I've already got some background color and I can just drop in my stories on top of it, right? And so then it's super fun. Like, look at that. There's the dome from Ugo's place, right? Some of these colors were on here, but then I paint with more saturated inks on top of it, right? Sky's the limit. Why why just always do the same thing? Why just always use a white page sketchbook, right? Why not make my own? I know there's people out there making their own, but I'm ready to jump into this. So here we go. This way, and now this way, right? But you don't want it like that because that's sort of cumbersome, right? So now let me unfold this. And with this page like this, you can't really see it, but the center crease is in between here to here. So now I'm going to grab my X-Acto knife. I should have like a cutting board thing here. Do I have one? No, I'm just going to use it. I like the look of hand torn, and if I were doing this where I had more time, and I would just keep folding it until I could tear it, right? Because I do like the look of hand torn paper. All right, so with my X-Acto knife, I'm going to cut this seam between here and here, okay? I'm going to cut the seam and try to stay in the line, but if I blip out, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, right? It's just, it happens. And, okay, I've hit the center. The center section, what is it called? The center crease, right? Okay. There we go, cruising along. Sometimes I get snagged on paint or masking fluid. All righty, so there we go. There's that. So here's this sheet of paper now. Hello, my name is Meagan Burns. All right, see, now I'm going to flip it over on this side, right? So that's it as far as the folding. Although I will continue to fold it to work on the crease. Let me do to make that crease stronger. I'm gonna just keep creasing. So let me just get some stronger crease marks here. Okay. Now, with this center cut like this, and the first time you do it, it'll be a little awkward, isn't the right word. It may not fold right into place, but as you start playing with it, it'll totally, so you want it like this, right? Right, there it is. Now, oh my God, look at this beautiful sketchbook cover. It's got beautiful design by Meagan Burns. And your sketchbook will have beautiful designs by fill in the blank, fill in your name. I decided I didn't want to broadcast the part where I'm doing this because I want you to do your own. I don't want you to be like, oh, well, this is what she did, and so I have to do it. No, I have found that I always do these in my workshops, and when people first start doing it, there's questions like, oh, can I do this, or should blah, blah, should I do that? There's really no wrong way to do this, except the only except is if by putting two, like I have some beautiful, like the Turkish blue. It's a gorgeous midnight blue, and I use it for midnight sky. But it's a little hard to sketch over, right? I mean, there's ways. There's ways to sketch over black and dark paint with white or silver gel paints, right? Okay, so here's the sketchbook. I arrive in San Francisco and I start drawing some beautiful things, and look at how gorgeous these pages are with these beautiful colors, right? And there's still enough white where I can draw with my fountain pen, right? Okay, so now I have filled this page, and then I go, oh, it's time to flip that. It's time to flip it, right? So then you just flip it and you work the page in the same deal, like that. There we go. Oh my goodness, look at this beautiful sketchbook. I'm gonna start creasing here just to get some. Oh my goodness, now I'm halfway through my San Francisco trip. Look at all that beautiful white space. I got some glimmering, shimmery, that's what I'm trying to say, paint over here. Oh my goodness, look at all like the energy and just the white, right? So, yeah. So then I have this back page of the book. And then at the end of my trip, I have this super cool sketchbook. This is when I was still using like super heavy inks, right? This is Guanajuato, and there's a ginormous frog. There's a church. Oh, there's San Miguel. Here's me and a bunch of geraniums, right? I always make myself younger and thinner. And there's the, like I said, the dome from Ugo's place. So I now have two sketchbooks. I have this one is San Francisco, and then here I'm gonna flip this one because that one's kind of the same. Oh, yeah, it is kind of the same, but that's all right. And then I'm going to use this one for Long Beach. So super excited to be chatting with Val Roy next week, where we're going to talk about, she's got an insanely creative, not just one, she's got lots of ways that she does her sketchbooks. And we're just going to learn about a little of it because she doesn't want to be teaching. It's not like a teaching. It's more like talking about her process and her inspiration and the things, why she does some of the things that she does. So anyone who's interested in watching Val, please go ahead and make your sketchbook, right? Make your sketchbook so you have this to get started so that when she starts showing us some of the different things we can be doing with this, you'll already have the basics, right? And this video will be available so that you can always go back to it. You can use any size paper, right? Like you can make mini ones of these, like little tiny guys, right? So you have little, I don't know if you're into that, but I kind of like to have a little space to draw. So there we go. We got our handmade sketchbooks for travel sketching and drawing your dreams and drawing your continuous line stories, the whole deal. So, okay, there we go. Let me see if I can end this. Thanks for being here, everyone. There we go. Bye.